Liverpool cruised to the top of the Premier League as they easily outclassed Manchester United in a 4-0 victory at Anfield on Tuesday, now leading Manchester City by 2 points. Jurgen Klopp's side never looked like viewing a game against their great rivals a cause for concern in their pursuit of a 20th title. Instead, the Liverpool manager could simply relish watching his players put to the sword a United side who delivered a first 45 minutes of football that will rank among the worst in their recent history. It took only 5 minutes for Luis Diaz to open the scoring, tapping home from a Mohamed Salah cutback after United had been undone by a simple passing triangle on their left flank. By midway through the early period, the lead was doubled, with Joel Matip and Diaz combining in midfield before a clip-through ball by Sadio Mane teed up Salah for his first club goal since March 12. Diaz would have the ball in the net from an offside position in the first half, one in which United failed to register so much as a shot and completed fewer passes in the attacking third than 8 Liverpool players managed on an individual basis. The second half was not quite as egregiously bad, as the introduction of Jadon Sancho bringing more off-ball pressure and attacking thrust from the visitors, who have conceded 9 goals against Liverpool this season without scoring once. But just as the hosts looked like they might be wobbling, Maine slotted home off a Diaz cross, meaning all of the starting front three ended the night with an assist and a goal. That symmetry was spoiled in the 85th minute when substitute Diogo Jota picked the pocket of Hannibal Mejiri, slipping through Salah with a clipped finish deflected off Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He became the first player to score 5 goals against United in a season. It is one of a string of statistics that serve to emphasize the chasm between the league leaders and United, one that does not look like being bridged anytime soon. A waste of space. That's how Gary Neville described Manchester United's first half on UK television. You could not help but feel he was pulling a few punches against their biggest rivals with a top 4 place up for grabs. Ralph Rangnick's side gave up without a fight. This was Homer Simpson letting Dredrick Tatum hit him again and again and again. Or maybe it wasn't, because at least then had something approximating a plan. There was no sign of anything comparable from the visitors at Anfield. If you at least intend to weather a flurry of Liverpool punches, you might set yourself up in an organized fashion with a clear idea what you wanted to do off the ball. United didn't keep it compact. They did not press. Switching to a back three might have discombobulated them. But is it really beyond the wit of Harry Maguire to understand what he should do if he opts to track Sadio Mane into midfield? Do not let him turn and give him time to pick the pass. He would have been taught this decades ago. And while Rangnick was not blameless in this fiasco, he really does not need to be telling them to do the absolute basics. From there, Phil Jones looked like what he was. A player who had had nothing in recent years that could possibly prepare him for finding himself alone to defend Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah and Diaz. Liverpool's second goal was a masterpiece. Yet you could not help but feel it was slightly spoiled by the total lack of pressure anyone in light blue was putting on the ball. This was training exercise stuff. The sort of move you can put together when no one is trying to tackle you. David De Gea aside, there was no fight. None of the 11 players seemed to have any idea what sort of plan they were playing to. That is on Rangnick. But the simple lack of intensity and effort in the first half, it improved from the lowest of bases. In the second is on a group of players who appear to have checked out for the season. It seemed all they could do to spoil Liverpool's night was to play so woefully as to take some sheen off their win. Thiago hits groove in dominant display. United could not even manage that. Liverpool might not have been tested, but they certainly set out to challenge themselves. How else to explain the gaudy excellence of the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Diaz and Maine? all of whom treated this game as the ideal moment to stretch their creative muscles. No one seemed to be relishing the moment more than Thiago. Certainly in the best form he has been in since moving to the Premier League, and perhaps even for longer than that. After half an hour of play, he had created 3 chances. It was just too easy for him. Every pass he delivered to his teammates was struck to perfection at exactly the right moment. Given time to look up and assess his options, he always picked the right one. This was tempo setting to perfection. When Liverpool needed to speed up, he did so. On the rare occasion that they just needed a bit of possession after a spell of United pressure, he would ensure ball security. Even when the hosts got sloppy around the hour, he was ticking along nicely. Such cool heads will be vital in the weeks ahead as Jurgen Klopp's side look to keep the pressure on City. Thiago will not let them down. The end of Pogba and United. Pogba is far from blameless for what has been a fruitless stay in Old Trafford. But you cannot shake the sense that those responsible for building this squad have never put him in a position to excel.